Hello everybody, it is me, Jordan Young, aka Sneakernomics, and yes, this hair is ridiculous. I'm going with the reverse ponytail. I'm sure I won't look back with any kind of cringe at all in a few years thinking, what on earth was I doing with my hair? In today's episode, we're going to talk about the most overhated sneakers in sneaker culture. And you notice I said overhated. I kind of feel like in some of these cases, it's actually become a trend to hate on these sneakers simply because they've been a trend unto themselves. Now, if you go onto TikTok, which is something I probably wouldn't recommend if you want to retain brain chemistry function, you can see countless vids where people are asking each other, what's the worst sneaker of all time? What's the most overrated sneaker? What's the worst release? What's the crappiest shoe? And again, the same models keep coming up. And so let's talk about them.
The worst sneaker of all time.
Panda Dunks. Pandas.
What's the worst sneaker of all time?
Pandas.
What is the worst sneaker ever released?
Panda Dunk.
This has to be one of the most overhated sneakers on this list. People get so worked up about Panda Dunks.
Panda Dunks. Everybody and their mama and their daddy and their sister and their turtle has these.
This is a sneaker that's only fault is that it is extremely popular and is really reflective of the trend-based society that we are currently living in, where when something becomes really popular and mainstream, it becomes unappealing. If you ask someone why is it they don't like the Panda Dunks, they can't give you an answer other than it's really popular and everybody has a pair.
Panda Dunks.
I personally think the Panda Dunk is a really good looking shoe. It's black and white. It's got to be the most easy to wear, versatile sneaker conceivable to the imagination. I mean, you can literally wear this with just about anything. Next up, the Fila Disruptors. This is a sneaker that comes up again and again and again when people are asking what the worst sneaker of all time is. And in all honesty, they are not that bad. These are so overhated. Look at them. What's wrong with them? The silhouette is pretty clean. The sole is chunky and rugged. I have a theory. It's not actually the shoes that these young guys, who are predominantly the ones hating on this shoe, that's the problem. It's some girl that they've either been rejected by or some ex-girlfriend that they broke up with that has left them emotionally scarred, where they can't look at the Fila Disruptor without associating it with this heartbreak. And that heartbreak has manifested into shoe hate. What do you guys think about that? Alexander McQueen's. People love to hate on the Alexander McQueen sneakers. Now, I have a theory on this one as well. I don't think it's so much the Alexander McQueen sneakers themselves, which are relatively pleasing aesthetically to the eye. I think the reason why people don't like Alexander McQueen shoes is because generally people that wear Alexander McQueen shoes are just assholes. Whether you're a guy or a girl, if you're wearing McQueens, just stop now, because your assholeness is carrying over to the shoe, where people can't look at that shoe without imagining some asshole. This could well be contender for the most overhated shoe on the list. It's the Air Jordan 1 Mids. Now, I don't know why mids get such a bad rap in general. You know, Nike SB mids tend to be the least popular of all the SBs. The Air Force 1 mid doesn't tend to get as much love as the high, nor nearly enough as much as the Air Force 1 low. And so there's something about mid-top shoes that just don't sit well with most people, which is kind of ironic considering the Jordan 3 is a mid and the Jordan 4 is a mid. So you guys don't even know what you're up to. The Jordan 1 mid hate used to be somewhat justified because Jordan 1 mids used to generally be made with really crap sort of vinyl pressed leather. They were produced in experimental type colorways. They kind of looked like they were made with the offcuts of the Jordan 1 high. And because they were this gap filler in the market with crappy colorways and crappy quality, they always tended to sit on sale and have a very low level of desirability. But in more recent times, the Jordan 1 mid has become a really accessible shoe for sneakerheads and incoming sneakerheads. They've definitely improved the quality of the materials and way better colorways. They've even done some pretty cool collabs. And so I feel like mid-hate was probably justified maybe 5-10 years ago, but in today's day and age, it no longer is in my opinion. Let's stay on Jordans for just a couple of more models, because most Jordans, as we know, are hella popular, but there are some models that definitely get overhated on. I feel like one of those has got to be the Air Jordan 15. I feel like it's just a little bit too risque for some people. I mean, it kind of looks like some kind of postmodern Riverside Museum art gallery that has a kind of like labia for a helicopter landing pad or something. Or some kind of like vagina catamaran, I don't know. I don't actually think the Jordan 15 is that bad. It's certainly a shoe that I would never own nor aspire to own, but given the hates that it gets, I felt like it was worth mentioning it. Another one is the Jordan 16. I actually think these are really nice. They have that extra shroud thing covering the shoe, so these to me are kind of like the uncircumcised Jordans. They take inspiration from the greatest basketball shoe ever, in my opinion, the Jordan 11, but they did just a little bit too much with it, in my opinion. Definitely feel like these are a little bit overhated. So I have to put a shoe on the list that I myself project a lot of hate onto that is actually quite popular, or has been very popular, and that's the Yeezy Foam Runner. This is one of those shoes that you either love or you hate. And I know it's one of those shoes that even if you hate it, once you get a pair and you wear the pair, it tends to convert you. But these to me are just ghastly to look at. They look like little laundry baskets. They look like bicycle helmets, sea amoebas, maybe a designer cheese grater. They look like something that the Predator would wear. And I know they are designed with comfort in mind. And I know they helped usher in an entire trend around this comfy lifestyle slip-on foam shoe slide clog mule type thing, and they can certainly be credited with that for sure, but to me they're just ghastly. Now there are probably a whole number of other sneakers that you guys out there might think get hated on a little bit too much, and so feel free to let me know in the comments what sneakers out there you feel are overhated, and I'll be happy to chuck them into a future episode. Let me know what you guys thought of this video in the comments. Really hope you enjoyed it, and I look forward to seeing you guys on the next one. Take care for now, and peace.